So what do you think about the idea of buying a house? Prices are up, rates are still up, they dropped a little bit. Well, according to The Atlantic, a major publication, they're saying it will never be a good time to buy a house. The subheadline says maybe 2030, but that's kind of far away. That's 6-7 years away. Why are they saying this? Well, housing prices have gone up, the rates have gone up. Compared to 2, 3, 5 years ago, it's certainly more expensive. But the question is it still a good idea to buy a house? How do you make that decision? Well, for some, it's just how much does it cost per month? If it's cheaper to rent, then that's better not to buy a house. But in the long run, you have to remember that if you rent, even if it's $200 a month or $500 a month less for rent than mortgage on the same house right now, that rent's going to go up every year, $50 next year, $100 the following year, and so on. So if that happens, as eventually your rent's going to be more than the mortgage, because the mortgage, once you sign up for that mortgage and buy that house, it stays the same forever until you pay it off. Actually, it goes to zero at some point. So if the question is it never a good time to buy a house? Well, what's the downside to buying a house? Your payment's not going to go up. Is the price of the house going to go down, the value? Probably not. In the long run, it's never gone down permanently. Even the housing crash of 2008, it went down for a couple years and right back up and went past the low point. So what would be the downside? Even if it did go down, even if you bought a house today for $500,000 and you paid $4,000 a month for your mortgage and you could afford it, what if in 3 years the house went down to $400,000 in value? Who cares? It's not like it's cash out of your bank account. You don't have to write a check for that $100,000. See what I mean? It's just on paper. And if you're going to live in the house and stay there, who cares if it went down? In fact, if it goes down, you save some money because your taxes and your insurance will also go down. So before you can ask the question of, is it a good time to buy a house, ask what are the criteria that you're using. Is it you think the price will go up, will go down, your monthly payment is going to go up? Plus, if you buy a house, you can never be non-renewed on your lease. You can't be kicked out of your house if the owner decides, I don't want to rent this house anymore. It's your house. You got to pay the mortgage, you got to pay the taxes, but is it a good time to buy a house? I know you have an opinion about it, so first I want to hear your opinion as, is it a good time or not? And the other question is why? Is it because you think prices will go down and you don't want to get stuck? Do you think the monthly payment will be too high? Do you think the maintenance is too much? Do you don't want to be tied into living in one place? What are the reasons why you think it's not a good time to buy a house?